So today's another day, and we're gonna get started working on the F250 today. First thing that has to get installed are my new OEM fuel filters that I have to put, not mine, but you know the truck's OEM fuel filters, which is right here. So I have to install these, which one is on the top, which I'll show you, and then one is on the side. Also will, just as you guys can see, definitely the snow has melted. It's not as cold as usually is, and it's not as cold as it looks, but it is kind of windy. It was raining earlier, and it's kind of drizzling now, so I don't say the weather is great, but you know the car life has to go on. So I've been installing. Oh, whoops! It just opened right out the box, but it's in the plastic, so I wasn't expecting that to fall. But anyways, I've been installing for a long time, and since, you know, better than late than never, and since it's nice out, I'm all alone, of course. Ramel is supposed to be coming to help me out, which working on this truck, which I'll get started on. I'm not gonna talk about that yet. Might just throw it out. It's a piece of shit. But anyways, definitely have to start getting working on this thing, which me and Ramel are coming up with ideas that I have to do to this side. So I might jack up both sides, which I hate to do. I hate to do two projects at once, but I might just, you know, just he do one side and I do that side. Or, you know, I'm probably a lot quicker than that side, and he'd probably be easier on that side than I would. So he might just do it that way. But, you know, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's probably still sleeping at the time. So let's see if I could go ahead and get this lifted. Alright. So the fuel filter up top is right here. All I need to do is put an extension in my socket, and I can just twist it out. And the other one is actually under the cab, which I probably have to get like a tray, you know, like a carpet or something, because it's all wet and shitty. But I'm just gonna see if I can get started on that now. Alright, if you guys can see, I'm just getting ready, just getting my tool that I would need. If you guys haven't noticed, I actually got a haircut. I went on vacation, so I just got back, and that's why it's the perfect time to get on my truck. But of course, I go to look at my box and only have one glove. Not a good way to start the day. So, and I was thinking that this morning. I was like, oh, I might have to take a, you know, Home Depot trip just to fill up on the, you know, the utensils, that the everyday things that we never use or forget to buy or whatever. So that is the next goal. So I might take you guys on a ride to see where we go to get our stuff and local hookup. Just before I start, I wanted to show you guys, I actually got a new step, which is kind of cool. Because before, I used to have to climb onto that and kind of leap over, but now I can actually just walk up, you know, and be right at my view. It makes it a lot easier for those of you that don't know. This way, and I guess just gotta get like a mat or something that I could probably, you know, put the tools here, as you guys ever watch, which I do have one for like welding or something I could probably put there, but I mean, I'm not one of those too neat guys. So go ahead, take your ratchet, just put it in there, and it's gonna take a little bit of force. See if I get this going. Yeah, it's probably got too long of a one. Yeah, this thing's heavy on there. And of course, I can see it's cracked. Alright. I might be able to just put a socket on there. Whoever had this before me, there's a crack right there going down. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah. Right there. Doesn't this get better and better? Well, got my little Harbor Freight socket kit. Got a 24 deep socket, which I'm gonna put over this hex nut, plastic nut, which most likely I'll probably go to aftermarket if that's the best bet. Get the aluminum ones just so they don't crack. I heard it's a lot better, but it came off a little easier than I thought. So hopefully the other one is just as easy. So, and it looks like I gotta do a little bit of work. I don't know if I show you guys in the video, but this truck does have an EGR delete. Sorry for all the wetness, it's all just moisture. So but the EGR valve is still here just for the sensor, just so I don't have a check engine light. Well, it's a pretty smart idea, but it does have the block off plate right here, if you guys can see that. It took me so long, because this is my first diesel, but it took me so long just to figure out, like, why the hell is this EGR, like, you can see the valve. I didn't know why, but then I realized, like, oh, it's a block off plate. But the reason it has a little bit of oil right here, the guy didn't put the seal or any type of gasket on there, which I gotta do. It's like a 2-second fix for anybody that's, you know, watching this. It's just maybe like a little gasket maker, which I'll probably do once I go to Advance, if I don't forget, Advance or Home Depot, whatever, if I don't forget. Then this actual cupping, it has a little tear on the other side, I guess, and that's why there's a little oil leaking. So I just gotta get a new one of those. It's really flimsy, which it shouldn't be. So that's something I just gotta fix. But getting back to the actual problem now, so let's take this off. Alright, there should be some type of feel here. Alright, so I got the fuel filter out, which, sorry for my hand not being steady at the moment. I want to check to see if the guy was actually taking care of this truck. Just by watching this few smallest things. This truck actually had 2 previously owners. The first owner was a construction guy, so I think it was his personal truck. He probably used it for commercialized, but I think it was his personal vehicle. So I think he took better care, and then I believe the second owner, if I'm not mistaken, was a younger guy like me, which I don't know if he was really into trucks or diesel models in general, or he just wanted something quick and something that could haul a lot of things. I don't know. I believe he did trade it in for BMW that the dealer that I purchased from. So I think he just wanted a faster model car, I guess, or whatever. So I want to check just to see, like, does this fuel filter match the one I'm about to place? So that's what I'm going to look at, and I'll show you guys Alright, so here's all the facts. It looks like this is a aftermarket fuel filter. It doesn't take much to notice. You can see this is probably like a 8, I don't know, it doesn't have a brand on there, but you can see they're a lot thinner walls, and you can see I was on the diagonal, and that's what kind of gave me a curious. I was like, I don't remember seeing that at all. It kind of sucks. So I kind of wish I kind of changed this a lot sooner, especially because I had it this whole time. But I figured who would cheap out on any type of diesel model, especially if it's your own vehicle. But I'm going to go ahead and install this one, which is the OEM one, which this is upward, and it sits actually on the seal, which it should have an O-ring, but it might be still in the box. So the fuel filter's in there. It doesn't take much to actually set it on there, which I'll just take it off real quick just to show you guys. There is no O-ring that came with this kit, which is kind of weird, because I believe you're supposed to replace this one. Oh, maybe you don't. I thought that was an O-ring, but nope, never mind. I'm mistaken. Sorry. If you guys can see, there's actually teeth or grooves that this filter in there just sits in. They're just teeth that they just slide right in there. So just wiggles on there, and then you're good. Alright, and then now I'm just gonna put this cap on there. If I can get it set evenly. Let's see if I can get it set. I can get it on there, but... Alright, sorry. I was actually mistaken. You should put it on here first, and then try to pop it on there. This way it's securely on the top part. Oh man, I cannot get this thing to smoothly go. So I was ready to go under the truck. I got my interior from my Genesis that I took out, which I'll be using to lay on. To be honest, this is part of the job that I do not like. It gets wet, messy, and pretty shitty. So, just see if I can knock this out as quick as possible. If you guys hear the sound of my voice, yeah, it doesn't sound too thrilled, but don't have a Alright guys, so it did take me a while to figure out what type of socket I had to use to get on there. Of course, I had to use an 1 3/8 socket. So it was like I had to use my regular, I couldn't use my regular 3/8 wrench. I had to use my 1 inch, which is right here. So if you can see the difference, yeah, that socket is a lot bigger. Let me see if I can get the cap for it. I think it's over here. I'll bring you guys over here. So of course, looking at this, it's another aftermarket one. If you compare it to, sorry, I'm leaving it in the bag this way it doesn't get all dirty. You compare it to the OEM one, which comes from the Motorcraft from Ford, compared to this aftermarket. I mean, it looks like it was doing something. There's a lot of dirt in there. So, but who knows how much it was not doing. Yeah. So I'm kind of not happy about that. I guess it's more my fault than anybody else's, but it just said that, you know, all the rumors of the 6.0s and the defects of aftermarket products, who would go ahead and do that to their own truck. But whatever, it's done with. So getting back, yeah, I could see like some stuff in there, so I'm gonna clean that stuff out with this gas. I got, sorry, not gas, I got all this fuel all over me trying to take this one out, so you will be messy trying to get the one out. But it's definitely a big, huge socket. Sorry, I'm out of breath trying to take this one out. It's a pain in the ass. But it's over. I'm gonna pop this back in. So everything is finally done. Cleaning up now. As you guys could tell, it's starting to rain, which was raining before, but again, you gotta get this thing done. I'm covered in diesel fuel. It's a little bit in my hair. I think I got some of it in my mouth, but I guess that's part of having a diesel truck. Things get messy. So just cleaning up now. Just getting everything out the wet rain or whatever. Just throwing everything in here. I gotta sweep up all this shit. Make this garage look presentable like it did last year. I used to have my car in there for the winter, but I ain't got no space, and I'm trying to get this thing done. I figured if I have this block in my garage, I would knock this out, which would make me clean my garage to finally get my car back in there. But I guess it's just not helping me out. Well, so I'm trying to figure out what else I gotta do. At least that's all done with. So one thing that we did learn, nobody can take better than your own truck better than you. That's one reason why I do not like going to advanced auto places, and not advanced, but any type of truck, you know, servicing or oil change place, because you never know what kind of filters they're using. They're probably putting that cheap stuff in, not what your truck wants or you want for your truck. So, lesson learned. Never Part 2 of the Silverado front axle I got everything I need to make this job as easy as possible. I already did one side, so I know exactly how it works. It was just like I told you, I just didn't have the thrill of working on it, so I've been just sitting in my garage and finally getting to it now. Now, before you guys saw the video of me over here sitting on the truck, trying to sand down as much rust as possible. This way, when I do go ahead and paint it, I don't have as much flakes. That's the one thing I do not like. When you go to paint something and you still have the uneven smooth, I like everything to, look even. I'm very, very, skeptical, or, have a pet peeve with that one. So, I mean, there's 3 things I have to get rid of to get this whole thing. Sorry, there's more than that, but the 3 main things to get rid of this whole thing is 1 right here, 2, and there's 1 on the bottom. So I went ahead and sprayed PB Blaster, which I don't know how much is going to work because it's still pouring out here. So I just want to drive this truck. I mean, the thing does look pretty nice for a piece of shit that it is, and I do want to have plans to make it look nicer, but I'm not going to spend more money on looks if the truck is not going anywhere. It's still insured, and I do drive it, but not anywhere far. I just take it up the street just to make sure it, it works. Trans runs good, engine sounds strong enough. It doesn't have an exhaust, so it's loud as hell, but it does have that V8 tone to it. I don't want to tell you guys future plans of it, but I mean, most likely the truck isn't going anywhere, so I do want to get rid of probably all this in here, and I'll make it like see-through, kind of like my drift car or whatever. And so you can just open the hood and just look right down to it, get rid of as much as rust as possible, clean out all under there, just a rocker panel going down. Do some nice aluminum welds, I guess, going down there just to make it look flush. Maybe replace the whole rear door because this dent right here. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it irks me. I'm not a fan of big dents, and that's huge. So I'll probably just replace the whole door. But again, I don't want to spend no more money on the truck than I need to, because it just sits. I mean, like I said, the back of the truck is perfect. I mean, I cannot say how good I did, me and Ramel and all the other guys that helped me out. I do have to get another taillight, and I do have the bumper from the other frame. It's just I never installed it, which I want to weld it on. So I have a plan to get like maybe 1-inch tubing and kind of like weld it all the way across here and on the other side in the L frame, just to give it the support, and then I'll just insert the bumper, slide right over it. So it's not going to be factory mounted, but I mean, it'll look OEM once it's in there. But again, for now, it's my least of my worries, because I said I want to get a acetylene torch just so I can start chopping up the shit a lot quicker than using cut-off wheels and cut-off blades and hacks, sawzalls or whatever. Saves a lot more time. So let's see. Yeah, so I guess this is just something I just gotta get to right now. I'm about to just start, but I do want to start sanding a little bit more down like I was doing in the last video. Just I can't get the perfect weather to do it, so no other perfect time to do it than the rain. Alright guys, so with all this rain, it's just like I can't get much done. It's miserable out here, and I think it's time to move on into better things. So I got a tape measure out, which I'm looking about 18 feet just to make sure. I'm thinking about getting a tent. Hopefully that I could be able to cover majority of my work area. This way, no matter if it's snowing or raining, I can have some heat outside. So it looks like it's 18 inch wide. I'm about to see how far, what length I need. Just give me 1 second. Alright, so it looks like I need 18 by 21. I would say 25 would probably be perfect, just so I have leg space to walk around and stuff like that. So I'm about to see if I could just see how much they cost online. Hopefully it's my budget. I'm not too positive, but if it is, I might be going out to get one today, because I want to get this stuff done, but it's impossible to do it in the rain. It's kind of miserable. So here's some other parts that I found. It's been so long since I worked for the truck, I kind of forgot where I put everything around. But I got a new rotor, some brake pads, the axle. These are different sliding bolts for the rotor, for the brake caliper. These are a lot better. These are aftermarket ones, but you actually put a hex nut on there, as if. Sorry, give me 1 second. These are the OEM ones, and you can see the difference. These actually have like a they're called a, what do you call, I can't remember. I'm like missing in the top of my head. But anyways, Torx, that's what it is. Sorry, Torx. Yeah, so it's a lot easier to get a socket on these than to get a, try to fit, a T socket or whatever in there. It was probably like a T20, no, sorry, like a T35, T40 or whatever. These, they're not good. I mean, especially when it gets rusty and the bolts don't want to come out. So I went ahead and purchased these. They're about $5 on Rock Auto. So if you have the same truck, I will go ahead and advise you to get these. It will save you in the long run when you want to do the brake packs again, just so you don't have to deal with those. So I also bought new hardware while on Rock Auto for the caliper, just to get new ones, just so they're not fresh. I'd rather have them look fresh and new. I'd rather have them fresh and new. This way, like I said, later on, everything comes out a lot easier. Here is the actual hub, the wheel hub. It is a used one, but there's no wear or anything like that. There's no wobble, no play in there. I think I spent like maybe $60 on eBay. Definitely a bang for the buck. You could get the actual hub itself for about maybe $40, but you're gonna go through the pain of trying to take out the 3 bolts here on the back. I can show you guys. On this one, I could take these out no problem. You could actually get to them, but when I show you guys the actual bolts on the truck already, they're all rusted. They're like conformed together. It's almost nearly impossible to, without heat or anything, to get those bolts out. So me thinking ahead, I was like, all right, at least I can knock out the 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. Better chance than taking out these little 3, because it's so hard to get to with a socket. It's almost impossible. So I mean, it's a little bit more money, but for the time, like I said, time is more valuable than money in some aspect of it. So I'd rather get the job done quicker and easier with less of a headache. But like I said, I want to go back to see if I can get a 10 or something, just so I can fit my truck inside.